Good morning, my treasure. Today, I am going to end up the topic of Medici family. After Savonarola has been executed, Florence regained republic system. This new government was, somehow democratic, and therefore, not strong foundation. Top of government was Piero Soderini, and he was gentle, from good family, but, not so capable to handle these difficult periods of Florence. Therefore, practical handling of Florence was shared by few persons. Niccolò Machiavelli was one of them, and he became famous after he died. Because of his political idea, Machiavellianism. Medici family still has to suffer difficulty, and Piero de' Medici died in 1503, during his regional battle, when he was 31 years old. Piero has one boy, but, still he was just 11 years old, at that moment. Therefore, Medici family was led by Giovanni de' Medici. Meanwhile, situation of Europe also far from stable, peaceful status. Charles VIII had been passed away, and new king, Louis XII invaded Milan. But, Pope Julius II, and Spain, successfully kicked out Louis XII from Italy. Then, Julius II considered to control Florence through his friend. This was Medici family, and this was Giovanni de' Medici. Pope Julius II sent Spain army to Florence, and asked Florence to accept return of Medici family by force. Piero Soderini, he had to go away from Florence, and Niccolò Machiavelli also had to stay in jail for the time being. Florence government must accept this restructuration, and start domination of Medici family again. Giovanni entered Florence, with gorgeous costume to show off his status, and reform government system as they like. Just after half year of his return, great luck hits on Giovanni. Pope Julius II passed away suddenly. Why it was luck for him? Because he was selected as next pope. Of course, he did aggressive lobby activities, and spent bulky volume of money. Also, he said to another candidates that he has problem for his health, and he cannot live a longer life. Maybe. Indeed, almost all popes in that era, they have shorter life as pope, due to its heavy burden, pressure, stress. Actually, Giovanni de' Medici was 38 years old, and youngest pope in its history. People called him, as, most ugly pope in the Vatican history. Anyway, Giovanni de' Medici became Leo X. Why Leo? Because when mom of Giovanni pregnant Giovanni, she saw dream that she delivered lion from her body. And Giovanni put his pope name, Leo, from this story. Eventually, Medici family produced their own pope from their blood. He was typical Medici person, and also, typical pope of Renaissance. He supported art activities, and produced golden age of Renaissance. He told Giuliano, the younger brother, that, God gave me status of pope, let's enjoy this status. And asked Giuliano to stay in Rome with Giovanni. Meanwhile, asked Lorenzo too to be top of Medici, therefore, top of Florence. Giovanni, from here, I have to call him, as Leo X. He made Vatican as a central point of Renaissance. Pope, priests, aristocracies, artists, scientists, actors, all come to Italy, and devote their energy for Renaissance. Of course, it costs a lot of bulky money, and in order to obtain these budgets, Leo X even sell out status of priest, indulgence. Of course, it irritated the people who was sincerely believing God, and it became big momentum of Reformation. From here, Protestant occurred consequently. 1515, new King of France, Francis I of France obtained his throne in France. Giuliano visited France as a diplomat of Medici, and he was asked to get married with relative of Francis I, in order to enhance relationship. However, Giuliano passed away, just 1 year later of this marriage. Meanwhile, Lorenzo I was behave as tyrant in Florence, and people hated him very much. This characteristic was similar with his father, Piero de' Medici, and Florence people recalled bad memory of Medici domination. Also, Lorenzo II has territory ambitious, and sent his military to Urbino, but it increased tax burden on Florence people. And, during this period, Lorenzo II passed away, by disease. 1519, big change happened in Europe. Maximilian I, Holy Roman Emperor, passed away. He was big name in European history, and produced balance in Europe. We know that, eventually Karl V inherited status of Holy Roman Emperor, but no definite confirmation of throne of Holy Roman Emperor, that moment. And Francis I of France did not hide his ambitions to be emperor. Pope Leo supported France king, due to their historical relationship, but finally, Karl V obtained his status as an emperor. Pope Leo was in a difficult position, but anytime, realist found better solution for him. Karl V and Pope Leo shake hand together to cooperate. Then, Karl V beaten French army in Milan, and occupied there, as his territory. 1521, Pope Leo passed away due to his serious cold, and, after intermission of one pope, Giulio de' Medici was selected, as new pope. This is Pope Clement VII, and he was called most handsome pope in Vatican history. Pope Clement VII worried about extension of Karl V territory in Italy, and he cooperated with Francis I again, to remove Karl V from Italy. Of course, Karl V very got angry, and sent his military to Rome. Unfortunately, Medici lost their military leader, Giovanni Blackband, in early stage, and Spain side also lost their leader in early stage. Then, Spain army became gang of mobs. It created massive mess in Rome. We call it as Sack of Rome 1527. Roma had been destroyed, and over 8,000 citizens of Roma had been killed. That moment, Clement VII was just staying in Castel Sant'Angelo and waiting for help over 7 months. It gave impression that it is punishment of God for Vatican. Also people thought it is almost ending stage of Medici family, but strong supporter helped Medici family, like a miracle. It was Karl V, just he was beating Medici, I mean Clement VII, in Italy. Karl V was cool and pragmatic. Excellent politician. He knows that, better ask Medici to control Florence, and he can control Florence through Medici, from their behind. Florence government kicked out Medici family from Florence, and opened fire with Karl V. However, after 6 months battle with 30,000 people dead, eventually, Florence knee down to Karl V. And he appointed Alessandro de' Medici to be Duke of Florence. In here, history of Republic of Florence was completely closed its file. Afterwards, not much good new or outstanding topic on Medici family. And, Eventually, although several extant branches of Medici family survive, but genuine blood of House of Medici end up to extinction. Japanese philosopher said, anything which has shape, finally all gone. That's mean, winner also must disappear soon or later. After I studied history of Medici family, I was impressed by Lorenzo il Magnifico. He produced Golden Age of Medici family. He left following poem. I want to introduce in here. Come, Bacchus, come, and bring your gifts to these young people, who are eager to enjoy them. Let us drink, dance and sing, and forget about tomorrow. Youth is a flower that blooms but briefly, and then it fades away. But even though youth is fleeting, it is still a time of great joy and possibility. So let us drink, dance, sing, and celebrate the gift of youth, because it won't be here again. Unfortunately for me, I cannot understand Italy. But I feel he predicted destiny of Medici family. And still, he enjoyed his life as one of great leader of history. I hope, my treasure, you too as well, you find your own way. And enjoy your own beautiful life.
As the journey continues.